Hi everyone, welcome you all. In the today's video we are going to see how we can create a basic Spring Boot project in Eclipse and also IntelliJ IDEA. So Eclipse and IntelliJ IDEA, so these are the two very popular IDEs which are available for Java developers, and now we'll see how we can create a Spring Boot project in Eclipse as well as IntelliJ IDEA. First let us start with the Eclipse. So the prerequisite is we need to have Java or JDK installation on your machine. That's the first prerequisite, and let me just check whether Java is there or not. Let me open my command prompt, and here you can verify Java-version, and this command will give you the Java version which is available in your machine. So if you are not installed Java so far, you have to download and install Java. So this is the prerequisite. And once you have installed Java, then we need to also download and install Eclipse, so which is already downloaded on my machine. And if I just look at here, this is my a new Eclipse which is newly downloaded. Or if you are not having this Eclipse, you need to go to the Eclipse official website, and from there you can just download the latest version of Eclipse IDE. So you can just go to this website and we can download eclipse.org. okay, and these are the two prerequisites. One is you need to have JDK or Java, and the next thing is you need to have Eclipse. Okay, so once you have this Eclipse, the next thing is we need to have a new plugin for Spring Boot, so which is basically called as Spring Tools Suite. Okay, so let me just go to the let me open my Eclipse. This is my new Eclipse. I don't have any projects created so far. Now let's go to the help menu, and here you can see Eclipse Marketplace. So go to Eclipse Marketplace. So inside this Eclipse Marketplace you need to search for Spring Tools Suite. So let it open. Alright, so once all the items are displayed here, you can just search for Spring Tools Suite. Okay, once you type here, then click on the go button. So once you click on the go button, so the particular Spring Tools Suite plugin will be displayed in this list. Okay, now we can see here there is a new plugin which is displayed, Spring Tools 4, which is also called as Spring Tools Suite 4. Okay, and we have to install this plugin. So here you can see a button called install, because I already installed this plugin on my Eclipse earlier, so it is not giving install. So it is saying installed, already installed. But in your case, which will give you a new button like this, install, you have to click on the install and go through certain steps, and once you completed the steps, your Eclipse will be restarted, and you will able to work with the Spring Boot framework. Okay, so this is a one new plugin which we need to additionally install on your Eclipse. So once you have installed it, and once you restart your Eclipse after completion of installation, so you can see this option inside the window preferences. Go to window preferences, and in this list you can see something called Spring here, Spring Boot. Okay, so if you have this option, means what? You have successfully installed Spring Boot plugin on your Eclipse. Okay, so this is the first step you need to do on Eclipse. So once you have installed this plugin, the next item is we need to create a new Maven project. So if I just go back to the file and here and click on the new, instead of taking Java project, we will take just a project, and inside this, so if I take a normal Maven project, again we have to add all the Spring Boot dependencies manually. So instead of doing that, we will directly create a Spring Boot project. So Spring Boot is also internally using Maven. Okay, so select the Spring Boot here, and inside this you can see options here. There are two options you can see here, and you can see the select second option, Spring Starter Project. So this is the option which you have to select, Spring Starter Project. So once you selected this, click on the next button, and which will show you a service URL. So service URL, so from this we will get all the dependencies from Spring Boot. Okay, so here we have to just provide the name of your project. I'm just providing some name called, I'll say my Spring Boot project. Okay, so just provide some name here, my Spring Boot project, and by default this is the location, this is my workspace, and here your project will be stored. So my Spring Boot project, and here Maven and Gradle. So which build tool you want to use for your project, Spring Boot project, you can select. So I'm currently using Maven, and which Java version you want to use. You can select one of the Java version here, and you can see packaging part. So you can just say this war file or jar file. So I want to package with only with the jar file, so select jar file. Language is Java. Kotlin and Ruby, 3 languages supporting, so I'm just taking Java. So once you provided these options, and you can just change these options, so group ID, artifact, and version number, description, all these things. If you want to change, you can change it. So once you provided all these options, and then click on the next button here. So this is the most important window. So here, which will show you Spring Boot version 251, and which is stable version. And in this list you can see there are so many dependencies are available for the Spring Boot project. So whichever application we are going to work, whichever type of application we are going to work, we need to download or we need to add particular type of dependencies. And if I just look at here, so there are so many dependencies are there. If I just go to the web here, and there is a Spring Web, this is the most important dependency. So by which you can just look at here the description of this Spring Web, and you can see which is useful for building web including RESTful applications using Spring MVC, and also which uses Apache Tomcat as a embedded server internally. So we can just take this plugin to develop a web-based applications as well as RESTful services. So let me just select this Spring Web as a default dependency. Later we can add more number of dependencies, so as and when we require. So for now I'm just selecting this one, and then click on the finish. So as soon as you have done this, it will create a new Maven project, which is basically a Spring Boot project. So whatever dependencies we require for Spring Boot project, we will automatically get all those dependencies. Now let us try to expand this project, and once you expand it, so still it is downloading some dependencies. Let it complete them. And sometimes if you are not properly downloaded some dependency, which will show you some error on the pom.xml. So in those cases, just try to update your project. You can just go to the project Maven update project. So once you click on the update project, so you can just click on OK. Your project will be updated. But still, if you face any issues with the pom.xml, you can do force update of snapshots or releases. If you select this option, it will forcefully update your pom.xml, then you will not see any issues. So I'm just saying OK. So now my project setup is ready. So if I just look at this project, by default this is a Maven project, and by default it is created a Spring Boot project structure, and you can see the pom.xml. In the pom.xml, so all the group IDs, artifact ID, version number, name of the project, description, Java version, all those things are populated along with some default dependencies. Now we can see here Spring Boot starter rep, Spring Boot starter test. So these are the only 2 dependencies which we have added by default, and later on we will add more number of dependencies. So this is a simple, very basic Spring Boot project which we have created inside our Eclipse. Now if I just go back to the src main Java, and inside the package there is a main class which is automatically created, and if I just open this project, and you can see some class which is my Spring Boot project application, simple class we can see, and inside this there is a main method. So the whole project execution will start from this particular class, okay, because which is having a main method. So the actual code we will implement on this particular folder structure com.example.demo. So under src main Java, all the development code will be reside here under src main Java. And if the project is required any resources which are present under src main resources, and especially you can see something called applications.properties here. So for your project, if you need any configurations, and those configurations we can specify inside the applications.properties file. So we can use this file later. And by default all the resources will be part of src main resources. And there is one more package here you can see src test Java. So if you develop some APIs, REST APIs, and if you want to test them, so we can use this particular folder, and here we will write all the unit test cases under src test Java. So all the development code will go to src main Java, and all the testing code will be going to inside the src test Java. And all the resources which are required for our project will be maintained inside the src main resources. So this is a actual Spring Boot project structure in your Eclipse. So this is how we need to set up a Spring Boot project in your Eclipse IDE. Okay, this is a one part. So there is a one more option which is also available. Suppose here we created our own project, right? So in your Eclipse itself we have created. So instead of creating this whole Maven project or Spring Boot project within your Eclipse, so we also have some other option. If I just go to this website and start.spring.io, so they have provided something called Spring Initializer. So in this we can specify whatever configuration we require for our Spring Boot project, and we can download from here and we can import that file into your Eclipse directly. So for example, let me just create a Maven project from here. So I'm just taking Maven project, I'm using Java, and this is a default version of Spring Boot, and here you can specify your group and artifact name, description, package name, and so on. If you want to specify, you can specify your own. So let me just say group com.sdate I'm saying, and artifact is demo, and name is a demo project, and description and some package names. You can provide default values, and I'm selecting packages jar, and whichever Java version you want to use, you can select that particular Java version. And then if you want to add any dependencies to the project, you can just click on add dependencies here, and you can search what are the dependencies you required for your project. I can see here Spring Web. So this is the most important the dependency by which we can build web, which includes RESTful applications, okay, and along with the Spring MVC and so on, and which is also internally uses Apache Tomcat as a embedded server. So let's use this, and now we have added one new dependency. Similarly, you can also add more number of dependencies here. So with this basic configuration which we created, and now we can just click on this generate, which will download the Maven project, Spring Boot project, in the form of zip file. So now this particular configuration and this particular file we can directly import on your Eclipse, and this is a basically Spring Boot project. Now let me just extract to the folder. Now in this folder you can see one more folder. So these are the project files. Now we can also import this file directly on your Eclipse. Now let us see how we can do this. So instead of creating a new project in your Eclipse, we can just import it. So go to the file, or you can just right click here, import, and when you're importing you have to go to the Maven section here. So Maven, and existing Maven project we have to select existing Maven project, and then click on the next, and where exactly our demo project is downloaded, go to the browse, and wherever you have downloaded we need to go to the download location and select the project folder, then select folder. So now we got the pom.xml, and then click on the finish. So once you have done this, your Spring Boot project is imported successfully. So when you open this folder, which is also having the same structure which we have created earlier. So first time when you try to import, just try to update your project. Go to the Maven and update project. So if not properly updated directly, you can select force update of snapshot or releases, which will directly forcefully update your form.xml without any issues. They say okay now. So now which is downloading all the dependencies which are required for our project. So now let's go to the pom.xml. Now you can see the dependencies, same kind of dependencies which are there in your project. And again, if you just see the same folder structure, src main java, which is contains a main class demo application.java. So all the project code will be running from this particular file. So this is a main source file. And if I just go back to the src main resources, so here all the resources will be maintained which are required for our project. And for testing purpose, like if whatever the code which is developed, and if you want to test them, all the unit tests we have to mention under src test java. So this package is created for writing the unit test cases. Okay, and if I just look at this project, any of this project, and this is a main class I have talked about, right? So my Spring Boot application something. So this is actual main class. From here all the classes will be executed, the whole code will be executed from here. So how we can run this class? So if you want to run this class, you can just look at here, run as. You can find two options, either Java application or you can run as a Spring Boot application. So basically when you run this project, what happens is which will internally start Tomcat server, which is embedded with your Spring Boot. Okay, so we don't need to install Tomcat server separately, because all the APIs, if you want to run, so all the services will be deployed on the Tomcat or WebSphere or some other web server or application server. So the advantage of Spring Boot is Tomcat server by default embedded with the Spring Boot. So when you, as soon as you start your this project, immediately your Tomcat server will be started. So let me just run it, and also I will write a simple message to test whether it's working fine or not. So let me just write simple message I'm writing for now, system.out.println. Just a moment. Okay, so I'm just writing a simple message just for testing purpose, which is working fine or not. So this is for testing. Okay, so basically the Spring Boot framework, which we are going to use it for developing the APIs, right? So REST APIs, so which needs a Tomcat server. So by default, whenever you start your application or start running this program, which will internally start your Tomcat server, and we will see how it is going to start. Let me just run this. You can run as a Java application or you can run as a Spring Boot application. Let me run as a Spring Boot app. So once you start running this project, now you can see Spring is started successfully, Spring Boot is started successfully, and you can see the message also, whatever message we have started. Okay, so if I just look at this, which is successfully started. Now if you just open the browser and you can just type localhost colon 8080. So what it is exactly saying is white label error page. So currently Tomcat server is running successfully, but the thing is we haven't implemented any REST services so far. So it is just giving a blank page, some error here, unexpected error giving. But Tomcat server is successfully running here. So how we will know that? Suppose if I just close the console, until unless we stop this project, still Tomcat server is running. So we have to stop this. Okay, so we have to just click on the stop here. So as soon as you stop this, then Tomcat server is stop running here. So this is how we can just cross check whether our program is successfully running or not. So here we are going to develop all the REST APIs. Okay, now this is how we can configure a Spring Boot project on your Eclipse. So now we'll see how we can set up the Spring Boot project in IntelliJ IDE, which is also very popular IDE which is there in the market. Now let me just minimize this. Okay, so now let us see how we can configure Spring Boot project in IntelliJ IDEA. Okay, so if I just go back to the IntelliJ IDEA, you can just go back, download IntelliJ and go to their official website. And IntelliJ is available in two flavors. One is ultimate version, the other one is a community version. So if I just look at these features, only the Spring is available only on the ultimate version. Okay, ultimate flavor. So which is not available inside the community version. So if you want to work with the IntelliJ IDEA along with the Spring Boot, you have to install ultimate version. So this is basically a paid version, and which is available free for 30-day trial, and after that we need to do payment for this. And if you want to still use this, or if you want to invest on this tool, you have to buy this, and then you can work with the Spring, which is supported only on the ultimate. But if you are using community version, which is free version available, but Spring will not be supported, or Spring Boot will not be supported on this particular community edition. So that you need to make sure. So for now, just want to show you how we can create a Spring Boot project on our IntelliJ. I have just downloaded a trial version of IntelliJ IDEA, which is ultimate version. So let me show you how we can create Spring Boot project on IntelliJ IDEA, which is ultimate version. Now let me just open my IntelliJ, which is already downloaded executable. I can just use that executable file to install it. Okay, which is very simple. You guys can do that. So as soon as you install this IntelliJ IDEA, let me just launch my IntelliJ, and you can see this window. Okay, so when you launch your IntelliJ IDE the first time, you will get this window. So from here we are going to start creating a new Spring Boot framework. So here we need to just click on the projects, and here you can see the new project. So once you click on the new project, and here you can see there are multiple options are giving. Java, Maven, Gradle and so on. So apart from this, you can see something called Spring Analyzer. So which will you will get it only through Ultimate version. Okay, so if you install Ultimate version of your IntelliJ IDEA, so then only you will see this. So once you selected here, you have to provide your project names and group ID, artifact ID and so on. So let me just give some name. I'll say demo is my name of the project. I say Spring project. I'm just giving some name. Let's say Spring project. And this is the location. So where you want to store this project, you can just browse the location. So I want to store in somewhere and just go to, so here I have an admin folder under users, and here I'm just taking something called Spring projects. Something should be there. Let's come down. Yeah, here you can see Spring project. So this is I'm going to use as a workspace. So select this and say OK. Now this project is going to store inside the Spring project, and here type is a Maven and Java language I'm going to use. And here you can see group ID and artifact ID you can specify, and if you want to change it, you can just change artifact ID and package name and so on. So which Java you want to use, by default your IntelliJ come with this version, or if you don't want to use this version and if you want to use your local Java version, you can just add JDK, or else you can just leave the default one. And here which Java you want to use, I just want to use 8. So packaging type is jar. So once you provided all these options, and then click on the next here. And this is the most important screen. So here you have to select what are the dependencies are required for your project. And if I see here, we already seen the web dependency, right? Spring Web. So this is the most important dependency by which we can build RESTful web services. So select this, and in future if you want to add more dependencies, we can also add those dependencies to your project. So once you add this dependency, just click on the finish. So once we have done this, which is going to create a new Spring Boot project inside your IntelliJ IDE. So we can just close this unwanted windows. Now let us see the folder structure, how it is creating. So I'm just trying to minimize this. So first time whenever you create a new project, and try to rebuild this project so that all the updates will be added. So click on the rebuild project, and then even pom.xml also successfully update. So let me expand. So still it is rebuilding my project, it is updating my project. So once it is done, you can just go through the folder structure. Okay, now this is my project, Spring Boot project. And if I just expand the SRC, which contains a main and test, SRC main, SRC test. So under SRC main, so we have a Java. So inside this actual development code will be reside. And if I just open this Spring project application, now you can see this. So this is the actual code from where the same folder structure, whatever we have seen in the Eclipse, same folder structure will be followed here. So inside SRC main Java we maintain, and especially application dot property. So if you want to do any configuration kind of stuff here, so only we have a pom.xml, so which we need to use it for adding dependencies. And you can just go to the test Java. So here we will write all the test cases. So the same folder structure also followed in the here, even it is a IntelliJ IDE or whatever Eclipse. This is the folder structure of Spring Boot. Okay, now let us try to execute this first program and default program, and we'll see whether it is starting my Tomcat server successfully or not. Okay, so for that what we will do is we can just write simple statement just for testing. So later I'll show you how we can write a simple code for developing REST API service and how we can test the REST API service. All these things we will see in the coming videos. I'll say system.out.println. I'm just writing something. So this is for testing. So whenever you run this program or start running this application, so by default your Tomcat server will be running. Okay, so this will be embedded into your Spring Boot project. So now let us just run this. How to run here is we can have this option, run Spring Boot project application. So once you run it, it will start execution, and we will see how it is going to work. Okay, so now it is started successfully, Spring project, and if I just go down, you can see still see the message here. So that means your project is successfully configured. Okay, so this is how we need to just configure the project in IntelliJ IDE, which is a Spring Boot project. Okay, so in the upcoming videos I will show you how we can develop REST APIs, and we'll see some part of development, and also we are going to see how we can test those REST APIs through unit test cases. Okay, so that's all for this video guys. In the next videos we will see few more topics. So thanks for watching.